I have to show you this polling from CNN as well as polling aggregates from other companies because the numbers for Trump right now are staggeringly positive. This is from CNN. This is just the very beginning of their article that they put out this week. They said, most Americans expect President-elect Donald Trump to do a good job upon his return to the White House next month. According to their poll, 54% expect him to do a good job. And they continue by saying a majority approves of how he's handling the presidential transition so far, 55%. So in other words, he is exceeding people's expectation. CNN continues by comparing people's optimism for this year versus 2016, and this is what they say about that, and here are the numbers. They say, among the overall public, the outlook on Trump's handling of the presidency is about the same as in November 2016. 53% expected him to do a good job back then, but expectations that he will bring back change for the better is 48% right now, which is higher than it was in 2016, which is what it was 43%. So it's 5% higher than now. In other words, he's exceeding expectations. And this is great news for Trump and even better news for America, because this is basically voters saying that they're getting exactly what they want. Then there are some voters, of course, who say that they never wanted Trump, but even a lot of the voters that are saying they didn't want Trump are now saying that they approve of the transition that he's doing. That's where that 5% discrepancy comes in. That also is where that 1% discrepancy comes in from that first part where, 53%. I mean, you look at the numbers. This is what's crazy, right? You look, it says 54% are approving of his transition right now. Donald Trump did not receive 54% of the vote. Donald Trump, I think, received 49% of the vote. I think Kamala Harris took 48% about, and then the rest went to third-party candidates. So if he's got a 54%, that means he's got about 5 to 6% up. And that's a 5 to 6% who never even voted for him in the first place, but are approving of the transition he's doing. And of course, that's assuming that 100% of the people who voted for him are also approving of the transition that he's doing, which is fantastic. This goes in to something that I've said a couple times on the show. I was in Washington, D.C. before the election, during the election, and after. And I saw businesses boarding up. I saw a lot of people who were concerned about potential violence that might be in the city if either candidate won. I mean, literally where I was staying, there was businesses all around me that were boarding up their stores because of the looting or what have you that was going to happen. I was ready for the riots as well. That's part of the reason why I was there. I was interested to see what would happen. I was ready to get it on camera. And to my great disappointment in terms of content, but my happiness as an American, the night of the election came, Trump won, and there was no riots. There was nothing. It was quiet. And so I thought, people are tired tonight. We learned that he would win at like 1:30. So I thought maybe the riots will come tomorrow. There was nothing. It didn't come ever. And the reason why is it turns out that people who did not vote for him know that he was pretty solid from 2017 to 2020. So I think there's a large percentage of Kamala Harris voters who aren't so upset about Donald Trump winning. I'm not saying that they would have voted for Trump, but I think when it happened, when they knew that Donald Trump had won, there was a moment of clarity for many Americans, realizing, well, the economy was pretty good under Trump. We didn't have any foreign wars under Trump. We didn't have millions of illegal immigrants coming in during Trump. And for that reason, the approval for Trump, as well as his whole transition team, has been a lot higher. I do want to show you guys some other numbers. This is Trump and J.D. Vance's approval ratings versus Biden's approval rating. What you're seeing right now is Donald Trump's approval rating, and you can see the kind of scope of it over the last, goes back to exactly, 3 years ago, or 4 years, I think, actually. As you can see, his favorability has gone steadily up, and his unfavorability has gone progressively down. At this point, he has a net of 2.4 unfavorable. His favorability is 46%, which is kind of average. It's not fantastic, except for when you look at Joe Biden's. This is Joe Biden's approval rating. He has a net disapproval rating of 19%, so 17% worse than Donald Trump in terms of disapproving. In terms of approval, 9% worse than Donald Trump at 37%. So relatively, and when you look at Donald Trump's numbers at that point, it looks relatively good for him. Just looking at J.D. Vance's approval rating as well, since he, of course, is a big part of the transition, you can see a steady increase. And this is much less data because J.D. Vance was not on the world stage until he was chosen as VP. So this is only since July, this graph that you're seeing right here. By the way, I should say this before I talk about JD Vance's numbers. This is from a polling aggregate of ABC. This is 538. The reason why I choose 538 is because it is the most left-wing aggregate I can pretty much find. I always do that on my show when I do polling because I'm taking the left wing. This is not a right-wing skewed aggregate. They're only taking some of the most left polls. And I'm not doing that because I want people to necessarily believe these numbers. I'm just showing you this is worst case. Worst case, and the numbers look very, very good for Donald Trump. I did this for the whole election. The reason why I do this, again, is because I don't want anyone coming out and say, oh, you have these right-wing biased numbers. No. This is left-wing, and it looks very good for Donald Trump and JD Vance as well. You can see that he has a net unfavorable rating of 3.7, slightly worse than Donald Trump, but worlds better than what Joe Biden is and has been pretty much his whole time as president. So Trump is off to a very strong start. He's doing it, though. This is the most fascinating part. He's doing it by doubling down on MAGA. So who knows what MAGA will look like in terms of breadth and support in 4 more years. Well, guys, it's Christmas time, so I want to tell you all a Christmas story. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and you are all on a hunt to find a holiday decoration you know you have, but you just can't remember where you put it. You realize that you don't actually have to worry because you bought Smart Labels. With Smart Labels, QR code labels, you can just put a label on your storage container, scan the QR code with the corresponding Smart Labels app, and then catalog everything you put in the container with a name, description, and picture. Then you just let the app know where you put the container, and voila. Next year, when you need that one thing, you can just do a search in the Smart Labels app, and it will tell you the color of the label, the 4-character code on the label, and where you put it. Or if you're curious what is in the storage bin on the high shelf or just anywhere in your garage, that crazy basement, you can simply scan a QR code with the app and it tells you everything that is inside. It's Christmas organizing magic this holiday season, whether you put these labels for yourself as a gift or if you want to buy them for anybody as a gift. I'm personally a big fan of buying myself gifts, so you might want to do it for yourself or others. Make sure you pick up a pack on Amazon by searching Smart Labels, it's one word, and get ready for a huge thank you from your future self. Also, men, when it comes to protection, settling for that generic brand that simply says one size fits all does not, in fact, actually fit all. It does not inspire confidence, and it's not going to offer you the protection that you want. That's why I've partnered with the sponsor of this show, Caliber. They have not 1, but 6 sizes to choose from, and they make it very easy to start with a Find Your Size sampler. And you're going to want to listen up because this is one of the best offers that they have. It's for Christmas. Right now, if you purchase a Find Your Size sampler, they're going to give you a free gift card. You can gift that gift card to others, or you can keep it for yourself. Again, that's in the link in my description below. You can get a Find Your Size sampler. It's discreetly delivered to your door, and you can join the thousands of customers who are improving their sexual fitness with Caliber. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.